All right, 1988 Ford Mustang GT convertible. That kind of speaks for itself. 80, it's either 87 or 88K. Original miles, clean title in my name. Brand new tires. Those just got put on last week. They're the Cooper Cobra. White wall out. Just personal preference. You can switch them if you don't like that. And got the collector tags on it in Colorado. Those are good for 5 years here. You'll have to see, most states have something like that. It's immaculate. I have videos of it, underside, the undercarriage. It just really, it's one of the most unique convertibles. I got it at a collector car auction a couple years ago. It doesn't have a spot of rust on it. There's no damage from accidents. Up underside, you know, the radiator supports, front bumpers. I would say it's an 8 out of 10 as far as the paint and body. It's got a couple small dings, and I'll show you those here in a minute. And then, of course, the normal, you know, paint chips in the front. It had a bra on it on the front, and actually it had it since I got it. Just recently we took it off. And that bra was hiding a couple of the rock chips up in the hood. There's no dings in the hood. It just needs to be, you know, either touched up, painted, or whatnot. One other thing, and it's really hard to see, and that's good, but something I, you know, just make sure everybody's aware of. The hood does have some sun fading on it. We had it polished. I had it detailed. They did a pretty good job on it. As far as that, I mean, they could have done a little bit better job with the detail overall, but they did a good job on the outside of it. So it's really hard to see, but when that wax fades a little bit, you'll be able to see a little bit more. But I mean, it's super hard to see, but just something that I notice on it. I'm pretty anal about things as far as my cars go and whatnot. So it's got the turbine wheels, the red match obviously on that. Good glass, no cracks in any of that. The convertible is new as of about 2 years ago, and it's been stored inside. The vehicle has, the Mustang. I've had it for 2.5 years. It was my dream car, and we're not selling it under financial hardship or anything. It just is, sorry, the shadows are a little bit. I got a 2-year-old, and actually he's about to be 3, but we just found out we're having another. And it's I'll get another one. It's just not super practical for family right now. I mean, it ends up sitting, and then I don't like it sitting out here in the winter, so I end up transporting it to Las Vegas. We trailered it out there just so it didn't have to see the harsh winter. It's never had a harsh winter. It came out of Washington State originally, and so, you know, as far as that goes, I'm in a police parking lot. I don't think they'll bother me here, but we'll see. I see a couple coming down the road. So the bumper is got the paint is kind of, you can see there, kind of spidered out there, but there's no damage, and you can see the lines on it here. There's and I have a few of those for now. And then the other things I just want to be very clear on it and point out, you know, because they're not terrible, but it's something that you should see. Again, it's things that, you know, kind of annoy me as far as perfection goes, and it's obviously an old vehicle. I don't have to tell you that, but nonetheless, it's easier for me to show you now versus you see a surprise later. And if you look at me up, I mean, this will be my first time on Bring a Trailer, which I'm hoping, because we got a lot of cool stuff we do, mainly with Jeeps and some collector trucks and stuff. But you look me up, I mean, I've been doing Jeep parts and OEM, really OEM stuff for 18 years now, for a good part of my adult life, or most of my adult life. So it's just, I've always done videos, and I like the fact that they let you load up with videos and photos, and anybody who doesn't take advantage of that is, you know, in my opinion, is either hiding something or just being purely lazy. So I do think that videos speak volumes, and that's part of the reason I do those as well. And again, I've done them always. You can look at my YouTube channel. There's over 1,000 videos that I have on there, and mainly just parts, just so people know exactly the shape. So let's start here. We're at the right rear side here. This is all nice, clean, no dings or anything. And obviously a lot of dings you're not going to be able to see. I'm going to point things out that you probably aren't going to see 90% of the time, but it's that 10% that you're just catching the right glare that I've just noticed. Okay, so again, there's an up on this trim molding here, there's one that's right here, and again, it's just trim, but it's something that you should see. You can kind of see it right there. So, and I have no idea. That's probably something that maybe just during install of those, because I know people want to get them on there. But as far as the door goes, that's all good. The clad molding on the side here is good for the most part. It's starting to lift a little bit in the back here, and a little bit in the back here. Again, when you see it from the side, you can't really see that. It's not to the point that it probably needs attention, but if you're going to be painting it at some point, which was my plan, is just to give it a nice fresh coat of paint, then yeah, I would probably spruce that up a little bit as well, or have them pull it when they do it. So that's that. The fender's nice and clean. There's no dings on here that I see. Front valance is all nice and clean, and there's an undercarriage video that you should watch. It really highlights how clean the bottom of this is. There's not a spot of rust. It's got a couple scratches down here on it, and again, I'll show you those rock chips I showed you earlier there, but there's no cracks in any of the plastic or the lower valances here, or any of the sides or back. So I think that's important, because I bought a few of these Foxbodies. I've had a lot of them over the years, and it seems like every one I get, somebody's caught it on something and tore it. So this doesn't have any tears like that. Going on the front, driver front fender, nice, clean, no damage. Again, no, and this doesn't have a bit of hell damage. There's nothing, dings, or no light that's going to show anything weird like that when you get it, I promise. So it's got a little paint chip here, not even a ding, it's just a chip out of the paint. So that's one. There's a little flaw there. You know, paint pen will cover some of this up, but like I said, for me, I wasn't going to paint it right away. It was going to be one of those things maybe down the road, because it doesn't really, it shows so well. But if it's, you know, something that you're really wanting to do, that, yeah, I would put like either the original paint back on it, or maybe a little brighter red. And then there is one ding here. This is probably a door ding that somebody tried to repair at one time, because you can kind of see a layer of paint on it with probably a paint marker. So right there at that, and you can definitely see it. You can see it here in that angle, and then you get further back on it, and it's still there. A little harder to see from back here, but definitely still there. And then there's another one, a little ding on the door right here. This is one of the reasons that I'm selling this thing, is because without it being in a nice garage, where you're not having young ones around, my kids, you know, playing around on it in a garage that we're constantly moving and shaking a lot of parts out of. I mean, this has been up in my house, but nonetheless, we have it down sometimes. It just, even if a broom falls on it, it's going to ding it, and I just don't have the patience for it to see that happen to it. It's just too clean of a car, and what it has right now is kind of normal for its age, in my opinion. But anymore, you know, it just takes away from what it is. So there's the last one, and it's right here on this corner, and it's right, you can see it pretty good there. Okay, so some of these are kind of the silly ones here, like how the heck did that happen? But anyway, I had a guy quote me on paint when I first got it, and he was gonna, you know, get all those. He's like, oh, keep going with it, and then when it gets maybe a little more faded to it, because it really, I mean, look at how pops this is. It's an absolutely stunning car, but nonetheless, I do want you to see exactly what you're getting here. And then the last thing, and this actually just happened in the detail, was this here. And it's this, again, it's that molding piece that's kind of, you see the same on the front there, and it just chipped right there. So I went online, and you can order them again, but I wouldn't mess with this. I don't know how they did it, if somebody just pushed down on it, or what happened, but that's that. So I'm hoping that, I haven't really looked at the Bring a Trailer site too much, but I'm hoping I can do several different videos. If I can't, I'm gonna make this one a little bit longer, just in case it only allows me to upload a couple. So if it doesn't allow me to do that, then this will be here, and if it does, then this will just be kind of redundant as I list the rest of the stuff. So if you're gonna watch, if I have 5 or 6 videos, then I would probably stop it and go on to the next video, and I'll illustrate that part more and more, like the interior and the engine compartment here in a minute. But if you'd only see, you know, 2 videos that it lets me do or something, then just keep watching this.